Subhasis Talapatra, our dear Chief Justice, my esteemed sister and brother on the bench, who also Talapatra, land Agricultural Orissa, Sri Pali, land Subsidy for High Court of Orissa, Sri London Nair, land President and Office Bearers of Orissa High Court Bar Association, and then senior advocates and members of the legal fraternity, Mr. Subhasis Talapatra and other members of the President, members of the registry, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all. The hardest thing to see in life is saying goodbye to a dear one while bidding farewell. And it always makes my foot hot. I'm here to say something on this occasion. As you all know, we have assembled here to bid farewell to our lovely Chief Justice and Justice Subhasis Talapatra at Superannuation today. After a successful completion of an illustrious career of judge and the Chief Justice of this High Court. And Justice Talapatra is not only a very good judge and Chief Justice, but as we all know, he is a good human being and gentleman and helping nature of all these time. As the life speech of Honorable Justice Talapatra speaks, he was born on 4th October 1961 at Udaipur, Tripura, where he was scholar from the beginning of his career. After learning from the University of Calcutta, he enrolled himself with the Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh on 12th September 1990. However, his lordship practiced mainly at the Governor bench of Governor High Court, and he was practicing in almost all branches of law, and more particularly constitutional, civil, criminal, and service matters. He was beginning senior advocate in the year 2004. After having a long-standing and growing practice at bar, he was elected as an additional judge of Governor High Court on 15th November 2011. And he lordship took oath as permanent judge of High Court of Tripura on 13/9/2013. His lordship also officiated as an acting Chief Justice of the High Court of Tripura for 2 terms, that is from 2/11/2018 to 13/11/2018, and from 11/11/2019 to 15/11/2019. Judge of the High Court of Tripura, he also participated in the World Congress of Justice for Children in March 2018 at UNESCO, Paris, and also participated in faculty exchange program on counterterrorism in NJ at Washington, D.C. and around the country, California, in September 2018. While he was judge in High Court of Tripura, he also shouldered many additional responsibilities, holding the position of Executive Chairman, Tripura State Legal Service Authority, Chairman, Juvenile Justice Committee, Chairman, Computer Committee and New Course Project, Chairman, Committee for Establishment of National Law University, etc. And who is continuing as a member of Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal since 2018. On the transfer from Tripura High Court, his lordship assumed as a judge of High Court of Orissa on 10th June 2022, and again assumed the office of the Chief Justice of High Court on 8th August 2023. Justice Talapatra has always been acknowledged for the injured person. He is also known for giving patient hearing to everyone who is in his judgment, which was also resulted in deep admiration and abundant affection and respect from the members of the bar. As a judge of this High Court, his lordship also shouldered many important and responsibilities, by holding a position as the chairman of the High Court of Legal Service Committee, executive chairman of Orissa Legal Service Authority, chairman of Computer and AI Committee, etc., and his lordship, during the tenure as Chief Justice, has shown constant commitment to institutional development, both in the judicial and administrative side of this court. On the judicial side, he has authored many remarkable judgments, important judgments. Some of them are Aditya Sahu versus Srimati Madhumita Pithal, matter number 2020 done on 29th June 2022 on section 25 the on 50 versus State of Orissa and another WPCL number 143 of 2022. 25th January 2023, if I consider the question as to whether the constitutional detention can be continued without taking evidence even after filing of a charge sheet. We, Anita Murthy, L.S. Mullah, and others versus State of Orissa, WPCL number 93 of 2022, delivered on 9th February 2023, and the rights under Article 21 of the Speedy Trial of Persons languishing in the custody. Dr. Alice Vasantadas versus State of Orissa and others, WPCL number 100 of 2022, delivered on 9th February 2023 on the National Security Act, and those have been reported in the various local journals. Our Chief Justice Justice Talapatra has taken all possible endeavor that the institution and litigation aspects from the judge and the Chief Justice, though he was for a short period in discharging his constitutional obligation, for which he shall be remembered by all of us. We just saying, every new beginning comes from some other beginning end. Therefore, we believe that this is the end of one inch of Justice Talapatra to begin a new innings with new vigor and strength. However, as Justice Talapatra passed from our High Court, on behalf of my colleagues and myself, I convey our best wishes to his lordship and also wish him a healthy and peaceful life ahead. On behalf of my colleagues, I may say, we really wish you, sir, but at the same time, I can say that no distance of place or lapse of time can lessen the friendship. Hence, wherever you will be remembered by us all the members. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Justice of Orissa High Court, Mr. Justice S. Talapatra, Honorable Dr. D.R. Sarangan, and other High Court judges, Mr. Ashok Kumar Parija, Advocate General, other law officers of the Government of Orissa and Government of India, Mr. Dhanamar Naik, Senior Advocate, President of the High Court Bar Association, or the other office bearers, the learned senior advocates present in the congregation, respected members of the registry of the Honorable High Court of Orissa, and my dearest friends and colleagues. Since my Lord's enrollment, he has contributed significantly to this field of law and justice. Since he began designated as a senior advocate in 2004 and elevated as a judge in the Guwahati High Court in the year 2011, my Lord, with his broad vision, has imparted justice, and with his sensible and enlarged legal parlance, he has been respected for his patient hearing to the advocates appearing before my Lord. As well, from my personal experience, I have seen and respected his appreciation to the younger colleagues of the bar, which has not only proved the magnanimity but also helped nourishing younger generations and inspire all of us in grooming the future of legal fraternity. I pray before my Lord Jagannath for his good health and his blessing to swear upon us as like it was till now and further his long-standing experience in this field of law. May enlighten us in future by his path-finding contribution for generation to come. My lords.
My Lord Honorable the Chief Justice, my Lord Justice, Honorable Justice B.R. Sarangi, my Lords Companion Judges, members of the Registry, the Deputy Solicitor General of India, Sri Prasanna Kumar Padi, the President of the High Court Bar Association, Sri Varun Nayak, Vice President, Secretary and other office bearers of the High Court Bar Association, respected senior members of the bar and my junior colleagues. You also have amongst us young Subhasis Talapatra, who is also a lawyer by profession, and other family members of Honorable Chief Justice. Today we are gathered to bid farewell to my Lord Chief Justice Subhasis Talapatra, the 33rd Chief Justice of our esteemed High Court, who is retiring after ably leading the bench and the bar. His absence will be sorely felt both by the bar and his brother and sister judges alike. Justice Talapatra was sworn in as a judge of the Orissa High Court on 10th of June 2022 and thereafter as Chief Justice of our High Court on 8th of August 2023. Within a short span of time, he seamlessly took up judicial and administrative responsibilities that awaited him here. In his illustrious career, Justice Talapatra, after completing his graduation in Arts and Law from the prestigious University of Calcutta, enrolled with the Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh on 12th of September 1990. He had a flourishing practice in constitutional, civil, and criminal matters. His legal acumen, diligence, and integrity culminated into being respected as a senior advocate in the year 2004. Recognizing his service to the bar over 2 decades, Justice Talapatra was appointed as an additional judge of the Honorable Guwahati High Court on 15th of November 2011. This was merely the start of his distinguished career as a judge, as he went on to pronounce judgments which have been significant, not only in shaping the jurisprudence of the country, but also evolving fundamental principles of right of citizens. In the case of Jayanta Kalai versus State of Tripura, the bench presided by Justice Talapatra directed the government of Tripura to provide compensation to 2 of the victims of a gang rape and further directed the determination of compensation in human considerations. In furtherance of the emphasis placed on the delivery of human justice, the bench presided by Justice Talapatra in the case of Jhonare versus State of Tripura departed from Section 32B of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971 and allowed termination of a 20-week pregnancy over a 12-year-old rape victim. Justice Talapatra's human approach and commitment to social justice is also evident in a number of notable public interest litigations which have been before his Lordship's bench. Justice Talapatra has actively participated in various national and international legal forums, demonstrating his commitment in improving the justice system and promoting legal education. Notably, in March 28, 2018, he attended the World Congress on Justice for Children at UNESCO, Paris. Justice Talapatra was a part of the faculty exchange program in counterterrorism phase 2 training organized by the National Judicial Academy and the Federal Judicial Center in September 2018, for which Justice Talapatra visited Washington, D.C. and Orange County, California. In addition to his judicial duties, Justice Talapatra simultaneously held significant posts such as Executive Chairman of the Tripura State Legal Services Authority, Chairman of the Juvenile Justice Committee of the High Court of Tripura, Chairman of Committee for Establishment of National Law University, and was a member of the Krishna Water Disputes Tribunal since 2018. Justice Talapatra always led by example and inspired the young and the experienced alike. I have argued several important matters before his Lordship. These matters involve wide range of areas, questions of law crucial to the state. Justice Talapatra's keen sense of law, along with his inquisitive questioning, always brought out the best in me as a counsel. Upon discussion with my law officers, I was apprised that Justice Talapatra had compassionately commented that his election campaign could entail a day-to-day model while counseling that replicated for providing ration cards to the poor and needy. Justice Talapatra's profound knowledge and ingenuity has certainly left an indelible mark in the judiciary of Orissa. Justice Talapatra recently released the quarterly letter of Justice Committee of Orissa High Court titled as Sisu Suraksha, wherein he was recounting the experience of a surprise visit to a special home. In spite of his tremendous workload as Chief Justice, Justice Talapatra has given patient hearing to each and every case, to each and every counsel appearing for him. Justice Talapatra's wisdom in interpreting the law, his impartiality in rendering judgments, and his unwavering commitment to uphold justice has earned him not only respect but also admiration from his peers, colleagues, and the wider community. Justice Talapatra's diligence and expertise is something the younger members of the bar must imbibe. His tireless work ethic is evident from his deep familiarity with every case file. With thorough understanding of the law and meticulous attention to detail, his judgments ensure that justice is served with precision and fairness. Our High Court has been fortunate to have Justice Talapatra at its helm. His lordship's distinguished career in law spanning over several decades is marked with unwavering courage and integrity. As we bid forward to Justice Talapatra, we do so with a mixed bag of emotions. We are sad to see him leave this esteemed position, knowing that his leadership and guidance will be greatly missed. However, we are also excited for the new opportunities and adventures that await him. We extend our heartfelt best wishes for a future filled with joy, good health, and continued success. At this juncture, I'm reminded of the famous words of Robert Lee Frost in his poetry, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Justice Talapatra, your service to our judiciary is valuable and legacy will endure. Thank you for your dedication and wisdom and unwavering commitment to justice. You may have shoes to fill, but you have also left us with the inspiration to strive for excellence in our legal system. Our true champion of justice, may your journey ahead be as fulfilling and rewarding as your journey have taken us on to your time in our court. In the highest regard and cherished lessons you have imparted to us. Farewell, and may your legacy continue to shine brightly.
Respected my Lord Honorable Chief Justice Subhasis Talapatra and my Lord Honorable Judges of the Orissa High Court, Mr. Ashok Kumar Paija, Senior Advocate General, Advocate General of the State, Mr. Prasanna Kumar Padhi, Honorable Deputy Solicitor General of India for the High Court of Orissa, Honorable Government Advocate, Law Officers of the Advocate General Office, Officers of the Registry, the Vice Presidents Vidyadhar Pradhan, Joint Secretaries Devasis Nanda, Assistant Secretaries Devasis Swain, Assistant Secretary Library Janai Kantamahanti, and all the executive members of the High Court Bar Associations present here, honored senior advocates, honored members of the bar present in the large number. This is a very emotional moment as you have gathered here today to bid farewell to Honorable Chief Justice Subhasis Talapatra. Your Lordship has served the citizen of our nation in the capacity as the Honorable Justice of the various High Courts and this High Court for about 10 years after being elevated on 13/9/2013. Your Lordship was born on October 4, 1961 at Udaipur, Tripura, did graduation in Arts and Law from University of Calcutta, and enrolled in the Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, and Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh on 12th September 1990. Practiced mainly at Agartala bench of the Guwahati High Court and appeared in Katana constitutional, civil, and criminal matters, and your Lordship designated as the senior advocate on 21st December 2004. Your Lordship was sworn as an additional judge of the Guwahati High Court on 15th November 2011. Your Lordship took oath as the permanent judge of the High Court of Tripura on 13/9/2013. Your Lordship officiated as the acting Chief Justice of the High Court of Tripura with effect from 2/11/2018 to 15/11/2019, participating in the World Congress on Justice for Children on 18th to 30th March 2018 at UNESCO Paris, participated in the Faculty of Exchange Program on Counter-Terrorism Phase 2 Training, NJA and MJC at Washington, D.C., held positions of the Executive Chairman, Tripura State Legal Service Authority since 2017, Chairman, Juvenile Justice Committee, Chairman, Computer Committee, and New Courts Projects, Chairman, Committee for Establishment of the National Law University, etc., and members of the Krishna Water Dispute Tribunals since 2018. Your Lordship was transferred as the Judge of the High Court of Orissa on 1/6/2022 from High Court of Tripura and took oath of office in the High Court of Orissa on 10/6/2022 and finally became the Chief Justice of the High Court of Orissa with effect from 8/8/2023. As the Chief Justice of the High Court, the bar has the opinion that your Lordship is the most gentle, sober, and keep the mind open till the conclusion of the hearing. Your Lordship's judgments are relief oriented towards the common litigants. Even during the short span of the Chief Justice of Orissa High Court, your Lordship has addressed most of the grievances that have been put forth by the lawyers in a swift and expeditious manner. This bar will remain grateful to your Lordships forever for inaugurating the Computer Facilitation Center, which will be a great help to the bar members as well as to the litigants. Your Lordships will be remembered for keeping tone of hearing matters humble, yet stern, simple, and audacious and effective. Your Lordships has delivered a number of landmark judgments on different fields. Your Lordship's presence here signifies not only your commitment to the principles of justice and rule of law, but also your dedications to uphold the ideas upon which our legal system is built. It is said that people may forget a great man, but nobody will forget a gentleman, a good man. I, on behalf of the High Court Bar Associations, wish your Lordships a happy, healthy, and prosperous post-retirement life. With these words, I take leave of your Lordship.
Dr. P.R. Sanghi and my esteemed colleagues this side, Learned Advocate General, Mr. Ashok Parija, Mr. P.K. Pari, the Solicitor General of India, Mr. Dhananjay Naik, President, High Court Bar Association, senior advocates, executive members of the High Court Bar Association, and the members of the High Court Bar Association, Learned Registrar General and the other registers of our High Courts, the employees of the High Court, and ladies and gentlemen. Before I just start my formal comment, I would like to appreciate the role of my support staffs at residence and the office. And they were so sincerely assisted me in discharging the duties from behind the screen. I should acknowledge their good contribution at this point. My stay at Cuttack would have been completely different if they are not supporting me around the clock. I feel extremely grateful to those persons. They actually fill the gap that has been created for absence of immediate family. I'm thankful to them. This is a moment of expressing my immense gratitude to all my colleagues who have been kind enough to guide me, support me whenever it is required. And I must mention this bar, members of this bar association, including the senior advocates, are very affectionate and kind to this humble being who is presiding as a judge of a glorious High Court, which has traveled the path of its 25 years and 75 years and 75 challenging years. I always believe, because I have most of my time I have practiced as a lawyer. In this institution, lawyers plays a great role. One of my, just a kind of this leading figure in my life was a judge in the Supreme Court. For few occasions, I had opportunity to associate with him, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer. He used to say that when my name was recommended for elevation as a judge of the Supreme Court to the President of India, a petition was filed by the very, very outstanding, famous 9 senior advocates of the Supreme Court not to make him the judge of the Supreme Court.
And he knew that thing. He was, in a very casual manner, in one occasion, he was telling me, first day that was a psychological challenge for me, because out of those senior advocates, 5 was arguing a case before me. He says, immediately I thought they have done their duty. Now it is my turn to prove that I'm really capable to this position. And there is always a challenge for anyone comes from this side to prove to his former colleagues that I really deserved it. And it is no more a less challenge because we all know where is our deficiencies, where is our strength, and how can carry on with this business of judging. It's a very complex business, which is called business of judging. Just you are also a human being, or at the same time you are judging something. When I call the judge a human being, you must also acknowledge that a human being is a product of a society, a product of a family, a product of a parenthood. He carries certain, if I use strong word, prejudices, carries some ideas about the various profiles in social life. So the moment he comes to a problem, to a legal issue to be settled, first he has to combat those ideas and he has to test those ideas, whether those are constitutionally valid or not. I remember one greatest of the speeches I have read. I did not have the occasion to hear the speech of Justice B.R. Ambedkar on 26th November 1949. He was telling, I still remember, this is what a prophecy he said. You have just, anybody can go through this speech, and I think most of you have read this speech. He was saying, we have done our job. We have given the country a constitution. But at the same time, we are very anxious that the constitution visualizes a society. I do not know whether our future will accept that concept of the idea of the country. Because this constitution stood only by one thing, humanity. Just raising the ideas about the caste and other barriers of the division created by the wealth. He visualized the situation, and for the last these 70 years of the constitutional experience shows that every word of Mr. B.R. Ambedkar was true. We are facing serious challenge, not about the constitution, but about the constitutionalism. There are two distinct ideas. You can have a written constitution, and our governance and our self-care take a path to a different direction. Constitution will be as the constitution was, as the constitution is. But our functioning, role of our state can take a different direction which doesn't conform to the soul of the constitution or the spirit of the constitution. Therefore, it is a day that we must, wherever, as a member of the legal fraternity, we must give some thought to protecting the constitutionalism in this country. That is a very serious issue we are facing. That is why we find that in some judgments, certain ideas are coming. These are not embedded in the constitutional philosophy. I do not know anything as a judge. As a judge, I am bound to uphold the Constitution. So these are the external ideas which come to the courtroom or percolate to the High Court's level from the superior courts. We feel really in a chocolate. We do not know how to take the constitutional program forward, but we have to take. I can confess you, there had been no moment in my life I stepped back, and that is why in my career I have expressly written my dissent against 7 Supreme Court judgments, stating that it under Article 141 this may be binding, but these areas cannot be accepted through the prism of constitutional philosophy. And I'm very fortunate, out of those judgment, 5 has been already reversed. I believe in future 2 other judgments will be also reversed. These are our duty to just do these things. At the cost of maybe certain things that would have come to in a way, it may not come. We have experienced these things. It doesn't matter. A judge has to lead the day in the court. He should not look back his past and future. Whatever the past, he has committed a mistake, deviated from the certain principles, he has right to correct it on the next date. So he has to grow with time, with experience, and with this learning. The everyday we learn from the lawyers. I always tell my fellow colleagues throughout my Northeast, during the last 4 days, 3 of my colleagues, they were not judges at the point of time. They are appearing because the lawyer visited me just before I demit office. And they are sharing all these things, what is happening in those days. I remembered one hearing in Guwahati High Court continued to 11 p.m. at night. That is regarding an election on next day 10 p.m. and election of the autonomous district council will happen. They have challenged the appointment of the election commissioner. So if I hold that it's okay, then election will be held, otherwise it will not be held. Election will be cancelled. At 11, I started dictating the judgment and it was completed at 11:10, I still remember. And at 1 p.m., the judgment was applied in the Guwahati High Court. So I scrapped the election because when Deputy Commissioner was made the executive chairman of that autonomous district council beyond the constitutional flow, Constitution doesn't permit it, and election was cancelled. Believe me, that I was very anxious that for the next morning that I will seriously criticize, because for the embedded doctrine in the election jurisprudence that when the process starts, court should not lay hand and recall by any order of the election commissioner. It was a question before me whether it is a matter of order or it was maybe the same in the constitution or not. Once the example, I just allow the judgment, it will create a precedent and stand contrary to the framework under this 6th schedule of the Constitution of India. So there is the biggest challenge. And Justice Ansari had written a book on the 6th schedule. He was the Chief Justice in this court. So many lawyers who make me reminded Justice Ansari's contributions to this court. He wrote that the 6th schedule itself is a state within a state. So the invasion by the executive at any level is impermissible in law. It happens, maybe I was wrong, maybe in future I may be proved right, or maybe somebody will come and make the vision into this system, because you do not have any idea of the 6th schedule. It was a creation of the British administration, but it has been developed by the constitutional exercises to a greater extent to keep the culture and the heritage of the tribal people. So this is an important democratic exercise. The constitution is taken and we have to survive with the interface of this kind of new ideas in the constitution. And other thing that today I like to share with you, that I always think that I was never fit to be a judge, because the amount of philosophy, amount of knowledge, amount of skill you require, a single individual perhaps cannot fill that position. But then the question is, how do we manage? We do manage through your knowledge. The lawyers of the North, who are arguing before me, your knowledge is getting transferred into our soul and reasoning process. We find out, we get every day rich by your knowledge. We find out a legal solution to the problem that is placed before us. And as a judge, I do not believe in activism. I always recognize the boundaries of the state. Even in public interest litigation, when I lay down on a subject to the controversy brought before the court, I always remind myself, if they are not doing, my duty is to just a really waking up call. not beyond that. If thereafter they do not do anything, it is not the court, but it is the electorate in the democracy. They will take the decision finally. And as a judge in a democracy, it is the most important thing that we inculcate in ourselves democratic processes, not in the courtroom, in our personal life. We should not behave like a king. That it try to just show us because the powers in some way were very discretionary in the hands of the judges. And that is where the extra mind we have to work to remind every day that you are a judge in a democracy. You are not a king to adjudicate the controversies of the dispute, and you are not adjudicating the subject, but you are adjudicating the problems of the fellow citizen. So we have to all the time make this difference. I have been, because of my small knowledge, I tried that, failed, tried to succeed and failed, and that was the process. I have no regret to admit this. And I believe you had made a very wonderful bar. You are very kind to me. And I have learned a lot from you. I think if the hand of the clock could have been taken back, I would have done much better. Thank you, everyone.